my channel. My name is Javon. I went from the concrete jungle of Brooklyn, New York, forget about it, to the real jungle here in the paradise that is Puerto Rico. From endless noise to sacred silence, from survival mode to soul connection. And for the first time in my life, I could finally breathe. And in today's video, I'm going to share why Brooklyn was my cage and how I found my freedom here in Puerto Rico. You know, Brooklyn was my cage, and in the bigger scheme of things, civilization itself has become nothing but a cage. A system that slowly disconnects us from nature, from stillness, and from who we truly are. It teaches us to move fast, consume more, numb ourselves, and we call that living. Before moving here, I would come to Puerto Rico for vacation, and one day I said enough of this rat race. I moved here with the intention of DJing, of nightlife, of sound, of stimulation, and that was the life that I knew. Noise, crowds, alcohol, and chaos. But over time, something deeper started to happen. Slowly, I began to connect to nature. And in that connection, I started to awaken to the beauty of life all around me. The wind, the rain, the sun, the soil beneath my feet. And little by little, I began to see the bigger picture. And in that scene, I began to change. I started to become wild again. I began living barefoot, feeling the earth directly beneath my feet. It's almost been 10 years now since I've been living completely barefoot, and I could never go back. I now see shoes as another pair of cages civilization has imposed on us in the name of safety. Shoes separate us from the ground, from presence, from reality, from connection. But I have never felt more alive than when I removed these shackles and felt the earth directly beneath me. Barefoot brought me home. In New York, it's not possible to live barefoot or walk barefoot because it's all concrete and that defeats the purpose. But oh, how good it feels, baby, to finally feel the earth beneath my feet, baby. And you can see a video on why I live barefoot, link in the description. You know, I began living a simple life without much money, without excess, without chasing things. And in that simplicity, I found a freedom I had never known. I realized how little I truly needed and how rich life becomes when you stop trying to fill emptiness with possessions. And now I live a completely sober life for the last 10 years. And that was huge because alcohol was all that I had known. Partying was my identity. Escape was my survival. I didn't realize it at the time, but I was trapped in another cage, a cage of my own mind, a cage of my own ignorance. But little by little, I broke free from the grasp of that ignorance. My third eye opened up. I became conscious. I began to see clearly. I began to feel deeply. I began to live intentionally. It was here in that quiet, barefoot, simple, sober life that I had this beautiful spiritual awakening. I realized that everything I had been searching for outside, in parties, in distraction, in chaos, was always inside of me. That connection, that clarity, that sense of being alive in every cell of my body, it wasn't something that I could chase. It was something I remembered. You know, I felt energy flowing through me that I had never noticed. I saw life differently. Every leaf, every drop of rain, every gust of wind felt sacred. I felt the presence of something bigger than myself, not in a distant way, but a part of me, a deep, deep part of me. It was a recognition that I am nature, for we are nature. I am the earth, the sky, the water, the sun. And that life is not about control or survival. Life is about presence. Life is about consciousness. It was a shift that changed everything. The way I moved, the way I breathed, the way I existed in the world. Every moment became alive. Every experience became my teacher. Every struggle became a doorway into deeper understanding. In New York, nature was nothing but a foreign concept to me. Concrete replaced soil, sirens replaced birds, stress replaced stillness. I was alive, but I wasn't living. I was moving, but I wasn't present. In Brooklyn, I was never happy. I was always depressed. Life felt heavy, rushed, mechanical. Every day felt like a prison, a cage that I could not escape. And the hardest part was not even realizing I was trapped, because everyone around me was trapped too. I now see that Brooklyn became my cocoon, a suffocating shell wrapped tightly around me, walls of concrete pressing in from all sides. I could barely breathe, trapped in a rhythm that wasn't mine. Noise pounded my skull, lights burned my eyes. The city's pulse felt like chains around my chest. I was alive, yeah, but only barely, moving through life like a ghost in a machine. Every step, every breath, every thought was filtered through the cage I didn't even realize I was in. It was truly the Matrix, a system designed to keep me numb, distracted, disconnected from nature, from the earth, from real freedom. And yet everyone around me was trapped in the same cocoon. No one knew how to break free. No one knew they were suffocating. But then I arrived here. Here in Puerto Rico, I was able to find my wings. I started to learn how to fly higher and higher with each and every day. Because when I reconnected with nature, I began to reconnect with my body, my breath, my instincts, and my spirit. I remembered who I was before the world told me who to be. As I always say, I was not born here, but here in Boriken, I was reborn. This is where I returned to Mother Nature's womb, where the earth held me, nurtured me, and reminded me of my true self. Here I shed the many layers of conformity of who I thought I had to be, and evolved into my higher self. Every tree, every river, every breeze was a teacher. Every moment was a step into freedom. I love that bird. I would have never imagined that one day I would be here growing my own food. Yet here I am cultivating a food forest, living off the grid with one solar panel, one battery, and living off the land. Rooted in the soil, guided by the sun, and sustained by the rain. Nature became my teacher, and simplicity became my medicine. In New York, I lived life in such a rush that I never realized I was rushing towards my own death. The death of wonder, the death of presence, the death of awe. And here in Puerto Rico, I finally slowed down. I let the days breathe. I let life unfold. And in that stillness, I found life again. In Brooklyn, there was no life, only existence. People didn't talk to each other. Everyone walked disconnected, isolated, trapped in their own minds. Everything was robotic. But here, people are warm, friendly, open, helpful. And in that human connection, I realized that life is not just about surviving, it's about belonging. In New York, it was survival of the fittest. You know what I mean? Constant competition, endless pressure, a rat race where everyone is chasing their own tail, running without knowing where the hell they're going. But here in Boriken, I found my peace, my freedom, and my happiness. I no longer worry about surviving. I simply live. Many people ask me, do you miss New York? And I always say, no. No, I don't miss my damn prison. I found my freedom here, where over there I felt like that prisoner. And many people would ask me, would you ever go back? And I always tell them the same thing. I am never, ever going back to my cage because I don't want to clip my wings, because I am always flying here, free and alive. I am never going back because I am always moving forward. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave any comments down below. Do you see civilization as a cage? Do you feel like you're living in a cage, this civilization? Do you feel called to be more in nature? I truly think we need nature to nurture, and I truly think that we need, this is home. Nature is home. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe, like, remember to like, and visit me on all social media at Radically Wild, and my website radicallywild.com. Stay wild, everyone. Whoa.